What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Bell Ringer Report here on the Heat Ratio Sports Network. I'm Dave Gloeckner. Today's topic, Eagles defensive coordinator. The position just opened up. It's, news that we all knew was going to happen. The Eagles officially fire defensive coordinator Sean Desai today and are moving on. Obviously, with the mentioning last week that Sirianni would likely stay, but he needed to come up with a better plan of assistant coaches. You knew this was the first step. Matt Patricia's contract will not be renewed, so he's out too. And then the next step will probably be Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator, moving on as well. But let's just look at the defensive side. There's already rumors that they are interviewing Ron Rivera, the ex-head coach of the Washington Commanders. Also, Mike Caldwell will be lining up. He was the Jaguars defensive coordinator the past 2 seasons, but was let go. And while those are good names that have been in the NFL for a couple years, more than a couple, and have really coached some good defenses, I opt somewhere else. I want something new. I want something different here. And I'm thinking more along the lines of, hey, Jim Leonhard, think about this. He interviewed for the Eagles defensive position last season, right after the Super Bowl, but opted out, was having hip surgery, was moving between Wisconsin and ended up in Illinois. Former defensive back to play in the NFL for 10 seasons. I think that's a hot name we want to keep our eye on. Really doesn't have a coaching job. He's like a head assistant at Illinois. So other thing I'm thinking about too, and hey, I'm telling you, this could, what's up, Cease? And what's up, my man, RWS Swoop? Al Harris, keep an eye out for that. I know it's crazy. I know it's a cowboy, but let's be honest here. That guy, he's got some energy. He's got some passion. If they do keep Dan Quinn, could we look at a way that we're going to sit here and maybe go a little bit, outside the box? I would love me some Al Harris. I remember his passion in playing. Vrabel, as a defensive coordinator, I just don't see him settling for that. I think he'll take a year off till he gets a head coach. Listen. I do agree, and I'll get to the offense tomorrow probably once Johnson's going. And your other point here is well served. It was a talent problem. I don't know if Sean Desai was necessarily the problem. We thought so for a while there until the pencil man came in and Matt Patricia just sucked even worse. So I don't disagree. Sean Desai is probably just, the scapegoat right now. And he's the fallout of having to change things. And Desai, I'm hearing, may even end up on Gerard Mayo's staff up in New England. He's got a few fans in that building, they said. So, yeah, I do think it's a talent. But for me, I still like the idea of going a little younger, going a little different. And I do think those 2 names that I mentioned should be considered. Yes, I do think Sirianni gets another year. We're going to hear that Wednesday as he's supposed to meet the media with Howie Roseman with a plan in place. So, yeah, Sirianni looks like he'll get another year. And then, yeah, I agree. They didn't have much to worry about except for the defensive line pass rush. And even then it was figured out, right? It was figured out quick. 70 sacks last year, under 50 this year, because they knew that they could just block certain styles and have all day with that secondary for sure. So I'd like to hear what you guys think, but I definitely think new blood is good blood. Ron Rivera, okay, would I take it? Sure. Does he really want to fit in that mold that we have here? I don't know. Let's think outside the box. These Eagles need a fresh new look, a fresh new perspective. Wink Martindale, by the way, I know he's a little older. I would consider, but I still want him more maybe in the consultant range. And it would be interesting because I heard he had a huge fallout with Brian Daboll. So would he come to the NFC East just to kind of play the Giants twice? That would be kind of epic if that worked out. He kind of reminds me of when we had Jim Johnson in the last leg with Andy Reid and how good he was for our defense. Yeah, we need new bodies and new minds. Absolutely. That's why I'm kind of in the boat of letting Sirianni go. But if he's going to come back, he's definitely going to come back with a new plan and a new staff in place. We learned a lot last season. What about Jim Bob Cooter? Yeah, well, he was the offensive side, but yeah, that could be an interesting point there. I'm not sure where he's ended up lately, but definitely, I like the outside the box thinking, Adam. Definitely, it's exactly right. You had all the time to prepare for a defensive front, and you've seen it. You can max protect, max block. You can push these guys. Like Reddick was bad this year because he was just going after the quarterback. Same with Sweat. Some misdirections they planned for this team because think about the Niners game with the Debo play. Sweat was already tackling the quarterback when Debo's running in the end zone. Coaches definitely prepared for that aggressive D-line and were able to attack us easily. All right, well, that's it for today. Thanks for checking. Thanks for the comments. I'll be back tomorrow. Tonight, Tony Cotillo is on later to have a Heat Ratio sports discussion. I'll be on Thursday with a full fourth and go. Until then, have a great night. And as always, go Birds.